All right, we should be live.
We're live now. Okay. Welcome to the Oberlin School District Oberlin Board of Education meeting, regular session for December 15th, 2020. Call to order.
Ms. Lemecca,
Here.
Dr. Stanley,
Here.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Here.
Ms. Sham,
Here.
Mr. Williams.
Here. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Call the roll.
Ms. Lemecca,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Sham,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. Okay, adoption of agenda, excuse me, adoption of agenda for this meeting.
That's
Yeah, we just did that.
I'm sorry, citizens' concern on agenda items.
We didn't have any.
Okay. All right. News of note, presentations.
Okay, go over the superintendent's report. The district is currently averaging about 93% of an attendance rate for our students online. The end of the semester is January 15th, 2021. We would like to encourage our students to continue to turn in schoolwork. We are currently making plans to continue to bring in some students who are having difficulties academically. So we still have some coming in, but we'll probably increase the number of coming in from to turn in work to allow them an opportunity to turn in some more work for us. And that'll happen probably in January. We also like to notify the community, which our email went out today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, December 16th, Oberlin may experience some internet outage due to cable co-op repairs. Teachers are aware that some students may experience difficulties tomorrow with internet connectivity. If you get disconnected, please try to log back in. Some of the teachers will have developed alternative assignments for students if they get logged out. So we are aware of the problem and continue to log in when possible. The next, I'd like to turn to facilities. Any questions about my report?
I guess I would just like to echo the comment that you made about the students who are having difficulty. There've been a lot of articles in the news about the challenges that students are having trying to keep up with the standard expectations and while learning remotely. And so I think that what we are facing here in Oberlin is definitely a universal problem as teachers and students, families are all struggling through this together. So it might not be much of a consolation, but at least we know we're all in it together. So thank you for everything everyone is doing to help try to make the best of this crazy situation.
Thank you. And next, I'd like to turn to our facilities update with Mr. DiNicola and TDA and also Green Space.
Why don't you go ahead, Rich?
Okay, again, I don't know where you want to start. If you want to start with the progress in the building, there is a video that was sent to you guys. I don't know, I'm not sure if you received it. It's sent at about 4 o'clock.
See if we can bring it up here.
It showed the video, and then Dr. Hall, I sent you a brief progress report. It was very late, but I can go over that also.
Yes, go to progress report with the board and a community so we can have that. And I'll try to see if we can get the video up.
Okay, so again, I did send this to you written, but like I say, it was kind of late, but I just thought I'd go over the entire, the progress on the project to date. So we'll start with the site work. The stormwater protection plan is in place and continues to be monitored, maintained and monitored on a monthly basis. The site grading is approximately 60% complete, and that will resume in spring of 2021. The site sewers, manholes, etc. were previously installed. The fire and domestic water lines are in place. Preliminary testing has been performed by the city of Oberlin, and the asphalt paving, site concrete, landscaping will continue in spring of 2021. In Area 1, which is the two-story section, or the academic and administrative section, the structural steel, concrete, slab on grade, and second floor concrete decks are complete. The metal roof deck is substantially complete and continues at the east end following placement of the second floor air handler units that happened last week. Roofing started this week and continues from the west end. The exterior metal studs and sheathing are in place on the south side, with the exception of the east end, which will follow the placement of the first floor air handler unit, and that's scheduled for December 18th or this coming Friday. The masonry veneer started on the south elevation the week of December 7th and continues west to east. The window openings on the south are framed and include temporary infills. The window units are anticipated to be on site the week of January 4th, 2021. The exterior metal studs and sheeting continue on the north elevation, and the interior metal studs have started in the first floor classrooms. Area 2, which is the one-story section and includes a gymnasium, student dining, the media center, and a main mechanical area. The structural steel, concrete slab on grade, masonry veneer, roofing, and windows are substantially complete in this area. Plumbing, HVAC, and electrical equipment are being installed and piped. The natural gas and meter are currently in place. Temporary enclosures continue, and temporary heaters are in place. The interiors in this area will start as conditions allow. And what I mean by that is, now that we have the temporary heaters in place, we'll start to dry the area, which will be conducive to the interior work. Like I say, I did send this to you in an outline form, Dr. Hall, and I apologize it was late.
No, I see it.
Okay.
But it's nice our community hears about it, and also a board briefing on it, especially in public session wise. And I'll keep my copy as well. I'll also relay it to the board for the update.
Yeah, and then we can, and along with the videos each month, we can update this form also.
However, the video I cannot
I'll get it
locate.
to you. I'll make sure I get it to you soon.
Attaches a video link, and let's see if we see the video for the link.
Hello, my name is Richard Depatka. I'm project manager for Green Space Construction here at the Oberlin City School District Elementary School Project. I want to let you know that we continue on schedule, on budget, which includes the students being in classrooms the fall of 21. As we all know, 2020 has been a challenge, not to mention the coronavirus, which necessitated the use of masks, social distancing, and just working with the contractors in order to just stay healthy and keep working. With the assistance of the construction team, including the Oberlin City School District, project architect, and the contractors, we have maintained our progress, which is what we would like to show you today.
Hi, my name's Sam Schiaparati, and I'm going to give you a progress report for Oberlin Elementary School. We are currently experiencing winter, and we are trying to achieve building enclosure. A couple milestones we've achieved so far is that we've got the interior concrete completely placed, which meant through working through Thanksgiving weekend. And we are completing structural steel this week. So that allows us to complete our roofing and also allows us to complete our structural framing and sheathing for the exterior of the building. We are also doing temporary enclosure of windows and doors and bringing in temporary heaters so we can keep the conditions workable inside of the structure. The masons are working through winter conditions, and that includes heating their material, the water, adding accelerator, and eventually probably tenting in their scaffold. But by completing the masonry, it allows us to put the permanent windows in, and also allows the site contractor to get started earlier in spring. The MEPs are roughing in, and the interior, the gas is run to the building and was turned on. The interior studs and door frames are also starting. So what we have coming up next is the delivery of our last 2 air handler units, one for the second floor and one for the first floor. Once these arrive and are set in place, it'll allow us to totally deck the roof and get the building in the dry, and also allows us to close up the south elevation and will allow us to continue with the interior finishes.
We hope you have enjoyed what we have showed you. As you can see, we are progressing very well. We will continue to keep you updated, and please let us know if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, future, I'll try to get to board that information prior to the meeting.
Yeah, we'll get it to you definitely sooner. We apologize. It came
Okay.
a little late this afternoon.
Now, I usually go from, I was on a board meeting before this one, so I'm usually from one board meeting to another one. So I didn't even check my email from that time. Okay. The board have any questions?
I have one. It may be a little premature, but I'm wondering what are some of the ways that sort of green principles will be integrated into the building in a way that helps support teachings. I don't know anything about garden, solar panels, any of those kinds of things.
Project
Brad,
plan.
you're-
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if I thought Brad was starting to talk and he was muted.
I was just going to say, are you aware of the grant, the green grant that the district got from the college for the dashboard system? Essentially, we have current transformers on practically every piece of all the electrical panels in the building. So we can monitor the heating loads, the electrical lighting loads, as well as the water, the gas, and those all will go to a dashboard, similar to the dashboards you have in some of the schools now, but with much more data than you have now. And we're talking about having student challenges, which you've done in the past, but can students minimize their water use, minimize their lighting? So during those challenges, you may see students in the dark and not washing their hands, but hopefully that won't happen until post-COVID. So, and then of course the building is super insulated. Really the insulation was optimized for what makes sense. You know, after you get to a certain point, insulation really doesn't pay you back at all. So it's the skin was optimized for that. There are solar panels that are going on the building, and low VOC materials for the building. So there are a lot of green features. And, obviously the stormwater retention you can see with the storm retention basin, which helps prevent the storm sewers from being overflowed with too much water after a rain event, and also cleans the water before it's discharged. So there are quite a few, and the project is a LEED project. If you're familiar with that, U.S. Green Building Council, we're working towards a certification process, and Rich is monitoring all the construction waste and trying to get as much of that construction waste recycled as possible. So those are some of the green features.
And we also watch the construction environment on the inside of the building during construction also.
Yes, the ducts go in, they make sure they're sealed, they don't get filled with dust. And so when you open the building, you have a clean system.
Yeah. I asked the question because I know conversations leading up to the ballot issue, there were community members who were specifically concerned about ways that the building might then ultimately be used as a part of curriculum. So I know that as builders, that isn't your ultimate goal, but it seems like those things would be taken into consideration on the building end of things. So it sounds like the dashboard is the most significant part of that.
And the other part is the landscaping, and that's part of the grant that we're applying for with the city, to have actually tags on the landscape elements where you pull up on an app. It identifies the tree, gives you some environmental principles about the tree, and then we invite the students to find other examples of that species of planting elsewhere on the site. And the students can go in and add information to those tags. So it's kind of a living document.
That would take the opportunity for outdoor learning spaces for the kids along those lines.
Thank you.
We also have vehicle charging stations as well for that. We apply with a grant. Inside the school, you'll have some open classroom space for similar to North Ridgeville schools that we visit. So you will have those features in there as well. And we have a lab. We're looking at dedicating that lab to a STEM lab as well inside the building. So we'll have technology upgraded within the building as well, but also the open space for learning experiences. Especially with our IB program, our 5th grade teachers really appreciate that feature in the building too, to have the collaboration, so students have more collaborative space.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, action items, board items. Do I have a motion to approve the board items?
So moved for items A through D.
Second.
Okay,
Just have Dr. Hall describe.
okay, yeah. Okay, yep.
Item B would be this resolution authorizing 4th guarantee maximum price for the Board of Education Green Space. That's an agreement with the construction company to continue financing, continue moving forward with the maximum price for the 4th stage. The board have evidently obviously approved several other ones prior to this to keep us on track for the new pre-K 5 facility. Item C is a temporary, we need to do a temporary presence preside over the January 12th organizational meeting. And
Do we need to make that motion now?
I think
As
we
we're
need to
describing.
know who that is.
So I'd like to nominate Jason to serve as the president pro tem for the January 12th meeting.
I second that.
So since this was my motion, I guess I would accept a friendly change to the item to say approve Jason Williams to serve as temporary president.
Got it.
I think was Farah the second. Is that okay with
Yes.
Farah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. If I could though, for those of us who are new, can you explain what that means and why we're doing it?
Yes. The board is nominated to, all board members are elected to serve January 1st to December 31st, and officers fall in that same category. Each year, you need to have an organizational meeting by January 15th. And since you don't have a president after December 31st, this person will start out the organizational meeting until we come up with new officers.
And we have always had our current president serve as the temporary president, regardless of whether we're going to have the same president, serve again the next year or switch to a new president next year. So this really doesn't have to do with who's going to be president for the rest of 2021.
And just to clarify, that doesn't have to be the way it is. The way the JVS board does it is we tend to rotate between two people as president and vice president on that board. With 13, it gets a little crazy. But so the way JVS does it is the vice president serves as the temporary president and then passes it back to whoever the existing president's going to be. So, or the new president's going to be. So the way this is just our tradition, but it is not written in stone. So if anybody had a horrible objection to having Jason serve as president at the January 12th meeting, we could take this into its own item to vote on it by itself. But basically, this person opens the meeting and gets it to the vote for the president. So it's a formality.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so D.
At item D,
This
the
is an
resolution.
annual thing that the county auditor submits their updated valuations to the state, and the state sends them back. So this is approving our evaluations for 2021 school year, or calendar year, the 2021 calendar year.
Okay, we already, I'm sorry, I'm out of it. Did we call the roll already?
Nope.
If there's
No.
is
Okay,
there additional
any-
discussion?
Any discussion? Any additional discussion? No? Okay.
Maybe
Call the
we
roll.
should clarify that B is just, this same thing that we're doing. This is the resolution is in our folder for the guaranteed maximum price, but this is just kind of the dotting of the I to make sure that we have everything in line with green space for the work that has to happen for this next period, the fourth. So.
Okay, is there any other?
EMP for the technology and the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion once again? All right. Call the roll.
Mr. Mecca,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Sham,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. Okay, treasurer's items. Do I have a motion to approve treasurer's items A and B?
So moved.
I second.
Okay, November, we're 42% of the way through the year. Our revenues are up about 3% to last year, and our expenses are up only 1.78%. Our 3 months budgeted expenses are 3.7 million. And when you subtract that from our current cash balance, it gives us 4,690,000.
Where are the, where is this?
It's in the, this is the, it's the general fund.
Yeah, no, how do I find it? I don't see it in my email and I'm looking in the drive.
Yeah, it's in the Board of Education drive.
Board of Education drive.
Here, I'll email it to you real quick.
Yeah, they have meeting notes folder for each meeting.
Yeah, and some reason I don't see that.
I always have to go into shared with me to find it.
Ah, I should know that. Okay. Usually it also comes in my email and I usually look at it that way, but.
Did you find it, Ken?
No.
All right,
A whole lot of.
I'm emailing it to you. Hang on.
Evaluation artifacts, survey data, Phoenix grant, board items 9520, 2021 PD, board update 816.
So look for BOE meetings. And then 2020 BOE.
Okay,
It's BOE meetings, Oberlin City Schools.
okay. And now I have a bunch of meetings. I don't see, I see a 12/15/2020 and OSBA board resources past meetings.
So you don't have a folder called BOE meetings, Oberlin City Schools 2020?
I do have that and I'm looking at that.
And so then there should be a folder in there called 2015-2020, and then another folder called meeting notes.
12/15/2020. Meeting notes 12/15/2020, but that's, I would, okay. Thank you.
All right.
Finally.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And now there's copies of everything, like everything just multiplied in here.
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know.
Which copy should I be looking at?
The original?
Thank you. So the original just doesn't say, okay, the original just,
They're all the same. So it's FYBDR.
okay. And right now you're looking at which one are you looking at?
The FYBDR-PT.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Thank
General fund, yeah.
Yes, the general fund. This correlates right back to the 5-year forecast that we just passed last month.
Okay.
So, and everything's in line currently to the 5-year forecast. The rates, the valuations did come back a little higher on Puku. But Nexus is probably still only going to pay their 43%. So, and it sounds like they're going to appeal again. So they do have their hearing in May, and we'll see where that goes to and see if they take it to the Supreme Court or not. With all, okay, we are spending right around $1.5 million a month, paying Green Space so that they can pay their contractors. But like Green Space said, we are on budget. So total cash balance at the end of November was $24,412,954. Everybody, there is copies of all the checks that were written in November in the folder. And I'm here to answer any questions if anybody has any questions.
Nope.
Can you
Okay.
do one from the all funds report? Can you
Yes.
just give us high level what's going on with lunchroom?
With lunchroom, our counts are,
199.
yes, our counts are down. I did set up when we did the budget for the ESERS money so that we could use some of that money to offset the food service so that it wouldn't be coming out of the general fund. But with lunch percentage is way down. So and we're still paying all the workers because we decided not to lay anybody off. So
Right.
they are producing the food, they are handing it out, but they're
We don't have anybody
just
paying.
yes, without anybody. With more kids coming into the school, there are more kids starting to eat, but it's nothing to where it normally is. So until we get kids back 5 days a week, there's no real way for them to sustain. But like I did say, we did get in $207,000 of ESERS money, and I did dedicate some of that money to offset the food service salary expenses.
So, but we still have an unencumbered balance of $200,000.
Yes. And that's the contract for ABI. That's the yearly contract.
Mhm.
So I encumbered the entire amount for the entire year. So that's why it's so high.
Okay, so we're only 44% of the way through the year, so we should be seeing that go down.
Yes.
It's still $40,000 more than the unencumbered balance at this time last year, though.
Yes.
I'm just going to breathe slowly through this one. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Then we have some donations.
Yes, and then we had two donations, 5146 to the high school from Ohio Pile Prince, and Ford Motor Company donated 2,000 face masks to the school district.
That's great. Is there any further discussion? No? Okay. Call the roll.
Ms. Emeka,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Sham,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. Okay, superintendent's consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's consent items? Items A through B2.
So moved.
Second.
Superintendent consent items. Item A is approval of the first reading and adoption of the following policies. 6114, that's the finance policy, which provides information regarding spending federal funds, how we can spend them, who's in charge of them, and it's a revised policy for the district. Item B is a personnel report. We have supplemental contracts on there for our coaches. Item B2 is additional changes classification. Betty Wyman's changing classifications due to education, receiving a master's plus 15. Request approval items A through B2 from the board.
All right, is there any further discussion on any of the items? No? Okay. Call the roll.
Actually,
Oh,
could I just ask what Josie Martin is listed as intramurals for the winter. I'm just curious what kind of intramurals we're able to do. You know, I love the idea that we're getting our kids doing things for fun. That one jumps out.
We utilize that one for a COVID support person during the games. So that is one that's used for COVID support. Same thing we use for athletics for football in the fall. Due to how High School Athletic Association, we have to have either, I think we have 2 people this year assigned to the sporting events. and those to make sure that the fans are in compliance, along with our administrators here as well too.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Nobody? Okay, call the roll.
Ms. Ameca,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Shum,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. Okay, comments, discussions, board update. Anybody have any board updates?
So I guess from the legislative perspective, we're not expecting our Patterson bill to make progress past the House. It has passed the House, but we're not expecting anything more than that since the holidays are here. And JVS has our meeting on Thursday, so I don't have an update from them.
If the endowment board met, I missed it. Robert, did I miss anything here?
Yes, we did allocate $100 gift cards to all the teachers again, and they did receive them last week. They also approved 2 Phoenix Grant Awards, and they also gave the high school principal $2,000 and each other school $1,000 to help offset costs that the principals want to help offset technology costs and stuff for teachers that are using new programs that they don't have funds to buy themselves. So
Thank you.
I do not have any updates.
I do not have any updates either.
Okay, hearing of the public on other items. You said there were nothing was sent in, correct?
correct.
Okay. Future meetings. Next meeting, organizational meeting, is January 12th, 2021, next year. Same location, virtual. Now, do I have a motion to move into executive session to pursuant to to
Ohio
consider
Revised Code.
the employment or compensation of a public employee or official? I'll just read that one instead of the number.
So moved. Say that?
Second.
I just wanted to, when we first started this, started meeting virtually, there were concerns about Zoom bombing and all that. So we didn't allow people to join us through Zoom. I wonder if that's something that we could revisit. I know that Zoom has improved it. Zoom bombing is sort of a thing of the past. I just wonder if that's something we should think about. And maybe we can talk about that next year, whether there's a way to allow, because, we're not hearing from the public. And I think that's partly because the public can't, jump in on these sessions. And, obviously that would take time, and there might be, it's kind of, the meetings are kind of nice this way, but I feel like we don't get the public input that we used to get. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
I actually had an idea on that, Ken. Could we, when people are submitting things on the website, what if when they were submitting an inquiry to the board, if they say, yes, I want to be part of the meeting, we would send that person the link to the meeting. And they could actually join the Zoom meeting.
I think that'd be a good place to start. I also think that some people might just want to.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to be part of the, say anything.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to, I think that would be great if people could at least, opt in and say, I'd really like to, and then maybe raise their hand, and then we can acknowledge them at the appropriate times. Yeah, I just like to, I want the public to feel that they're being heard and And I don't think, yeah, this asking the public comment just we're not getting much comment that way. And I think I know there are comments out there. There are people concerned about, there are people concerned about hybrid. There'd be people concerned if we don't go hybrid. And I think it'd be nice to hear. I don't know. It's just my thought.
Yeah, I definitely want to revisit that discussion and see what we can do. I know somebody had mentioned possibly through like our Facebook, like have a live session. And I don't know what it looks like, but I definitely want to revisit that to have real time, viewer questions. So yeah, I'm definitely open for discussing that for the new year.
I'm happy to leave it to others to work out the details.
I'll be Steve.
No pressure, Steve.
Yeah, Super Steve, that's to you.
Okay, now, did we call the roll on that or no?
Well, we should just clarify that there will be no action following the executive committee session.
Yep. So no
Yes,
action.
we should call the roll. Miss Emeka,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Miss Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Miss Shum,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Everybody should have the link.
Yes. All right. See you guys in a minute. Public, we'll see you next year. Okay, so is everybody? No, just missing Ken. He doesn't have to be in here to close it out, right?
No, he doesn't have to be.
Okay. I'm waiting for him.
Yeah.
You know, if we have another tech issue or something.
I'm gonna email him the link for this one.
He probably tapped out. I'm done.
No.
Oh.
Okay, I texted him that I emailed him the link.
All right, Ken. Okay. Do I have a motion to return to regular session and adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Ms. Emeka,
Yes.
Dr. Stanley,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Sham,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
yes.
guys. Thanks for everything.
Good
Have
night,
a Merry
everybody.
Christmas. If I don't
Good
see you
night.
before then.
Good
And
night.
to you.
Yeah.
Happy
Same.
Happy
holidays.
Safe.
holidays.
Bye.
Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.
Bye all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.